welcome back to my next episode here. I have a decent little stack today. I just starting to get my basically my second dog. It was started out as a babysitting thing for my aunt, but I'm pretty sure I'm taking it in permanently. So I haven't had a ton of time this week to do my normal amount of watching. So today I had to add in a couple movies that I've seen so many times that I can talk about them freely without having to watch them right before. And the first one of those is Us by Jordan Peele, his second film. I am very controversial on his movies. I'm the opposite of what most people think, and I think that his movies have gotten better and better with each one. Get Out is my third favorite. They're all, to me, like top-notch movies, but Get Out is actually my number 3. Us, this one, would be my number 2 that he's done. And I believe it's just to each their own. Like, each one of the movies are so different from one another. I just think it's whatever you like does it. Like, in this one, like, oh man, Lupita Nyong'o, that's her name, right? Lupita Nyong'o, I think that's how you pronounce it. She is fucking phenomenal in this, man, playing the double parts. And like, I just love it right from the opening. It's got that like Lost Boys feel, and you think the movie's gonna be one thing. Like, I didn't watch trailers, so I didn't really know what I was getting into. So, like, you think it's gonna be one thing where it's like just a kind of home invasion movie, and then it turns into like so much more than that. And here's the thing. Even though this one is like his most like kind of out there, like there's a lot to think about afterwards. It isn't a fully finished, summed up story. It is, but it isn't. I just find it masterfully done. Like, some of the frickin'... I don't even need to go there with Jordan Peele, because I think his choices for frame, like his cinematography, his just style that he has is almost flawless in my opinion. I think he's a phenomenal horror movie director. It's crazy that he came out of nowhere too with these. This 4K, by the way, also looks very beautiful. Definite one to have in your collection. But oh man, I love deep storyline movies. Like, I love all movies, but ones that just like grab me and I'm so focused on what's going on. They just put me in I don't know, they just put me in a good mood. Like, when I'm done and I watch it, when I'm done watching a movie that has a great storyline, I just feel like I experienced something. Where a lot of movies, like, I love the Friday the 13th franchise, I love the Halloween franchise, some of my favorite stuff of all time. But I mean, it is what it is. Like, when those movies finish, you don't really feel like you just experienced an event. And that's what I feel like separates masterclass filmmaking and storytelling from your random run-of-the-mill movies. And this one, when it finished, I was just like, it just had me thinking. I just felt like I just experienced something epic, basically. And I love all the acting from everybody's phenomenal. I love the doppelganger story. I love the way Lupita Nyong'o talks. I think it's freaking awesome the way she pulls off these two roles. Can't recommend Us enough. Us, to me, is it a 5? This is really damn close to a 5 for me. It might be, I might give it a 4.5, but it is right there on a 5. I think it's great. Great stuff. Let's jump over to another phenomenal director. This is from Martin Scorsese. This is Shutter Island on 4K. Another must-have on 4K, in my opinion, because this is like a film noir, modern film noir, with its filming style. So its black and whites are like awesome. It just feels like an old classic film noir movie, but modernized. So the 4K really shines in this movie. Absolutely beautiful. Sounds awesome as well. And Shutter Island, like, for the longest time, I wondered whether to classify it as horror. But right now that I've seen it, like, this is one I just watched again. Now that I've seen it, like, I think 4 or 5 times, I truly think that it is not a horror movie. It's a film noir with horror elements. Not much, though. Really bare bone on the horror. It's like a crime thriller. And I just love watching every scene that Leonardo DiCaprio and Mark Ruffalo are in together. The way they play off each other. It's just, both of them are giving top-notch performances. I love that it's all just, like, I can't say that because I'll spoil the story. I just love, if you haven't seen it, it's got a really good storyline. It's probably not for everyone because it is slow. And like anybody that's watched a Scorsese movie knows what you're getting into. They're long, slow, but phenomenal on every aspect. Like that, every category it excels in above most movies. That's what I can say about Shutter Island. It's got a stacked cast. Like, there's all kinds of familiar faces. Patricia Clarkson, Emily Mortimer, Michelle Williams, Max Van Sydow, Ben Kingsley. Like, you got a stack of cast, and they're all given top-notch stuff here. And, like, the first time I watched this, I was obviously way more sucked in because you don't know what the ending is. But, like, upon this viewing, I was just taken in the scenery. Like, seeing how beautiful some of the shots are of the mental institution. It's just, oh man, it's a beautiful movie. Another must-have on 4K. Some of these movies, I feel like they're just made for 4K. They shine. And my next one here is one of my top movies out of the 80s here. This is Stand By Me. This is also 4K. This isn't one you have to grab on 4K because anybody that's seen it knows what it is. It's not like a needs to be beautiful movie. But still, I upgraded because it's one of my favorite movies of the 80s. When I was a kid, I watched this so many times. I just love everything about this. These 4 kid actors, like, I know all their names, but I'll just look anyway. River Phoenix, Corey Feldman, Jerry O'Connell, and Will Wheaton. And also you got Kiefer Sutherland in there. Those 4 kids just play so well off each other. It just feels like an excellent coming-of-age story with a little tiny hint of, like, horror a little bit at the end. I love the train scene on the bridge. That's, like, it's just so iconic. The music is excellent. There's so much to love about this. To me, this is an iconic 80s movie. It needs to be... Oh, my 4K case is broken. Didn't notice that. Damn. It needs to be... It's a must-see 80s movie, in my opinion. Anyone that hasn't seen it, grab this 4K and give it a check out. Rob Reiner's the director. I knew that. I was just checking to verify before I said it. Sometimes my brain, I've said this before, I'm awful with names. I have a really hard time remembering names for some reason. And so I always like to just take a quick peek, especially winging it like I do. But yeah, Stand By Me. If you haven't seen it, must own 80s movie. And why not grab the 4K? And next up here, this is another beautiful 4K. This is from Scream Factory. This is The Fog. Recent movie that came out from them. It's about a year ago, I think, they put out this 4K. Maybe not even. But just, it's another really nice, beautiful looking movie in 4K. It comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray on the inside there. Another really nice steelbook here too. Like I do love the artwork that Scream Factory puts into their steelbooks. They look, I don't know, they just, something about the art can really suck me in. It's just like 80s movies in general. Like, it was all about the posters, right? Well, I honestly feel that some of these home media cases are the same kind of deal. Like, you can make me buy a movie if you have good enough art on it, even if I've never heard of it. But what did I say about The Fog? This is Jamie Lee Curtis's, what year did this come out? 1979, 1980. It says 79 on the back, but I could have sworn this was a 1980 movie. But so this would be basically Jamie Lee Curtis's follow-up to Halloween. I know she also did Terror Train, and there a whole slew, Prom Night, a whole bunch. But this is another early Jamie Lee Curtis role in a horror movie. Tom Atkins is in this. Awesome. Love Tom Atkins. And it's just like, I don't know, it's the ultimate haunting of a town movie to me. Like, it doesn't get much more of a clear storyline than this. It's so genius. Like, ghost ship, fog's rolling into town, ghosts are killing people in the fog. And there's a reason why. It isn't just random fog. There's obviously a reason. I won't spoil that in case you haven't seen it. And there's just some epic scenes. Like, I love the ending, the whole end sequence with the church and everything. I absolutely love all the scenery there, and this 4K really highlights it. Like, they do the fog justice on this 4K. It feels like the fog itself. I'm not saying the whole movie. I'm just, the fog itself within the movie looks really good in 4K. They really just nail it, I think, with the picture. And sounds good too, obviously. But yeah, this is another Scream Factory Steelbook. Got quite a few of these. Not as many as I would like. There's a bunch I still need to grab. But as long as Scream Factory keeps putting out these beautiful 4K Steelbooks, I'll keep buying them. It's as easy as that. Yeah, Fog. If you haven't seen it, it's another must-see classic. The 80s, John Carpenter. Next, I'm going to jump over to this Vinegar Syndrome movie. This one I did just watch, and this was for the first time ever. This is Madman. Madman Mars. So when this one first started out, is there? Yeah, there's reversible stuff too and stuff. There's that as well. When this movie first started out, I was thinking, okay, this is like Friday the 13th ripoff, big time. But then I was like, okay, well, every slasher that came out around this time, this is what, like 81 or something? 81. Every slasher that came out during this time is kind of a ripoff of Friday the 13th, so it's kind of stupid to judge on that. So, as it plays through, it really feels like a Friday the 13th movie, but I enjoyed it because I love Friday the 13th. So it's like, okay, like, give me some more Friday the 13th, but with a different killer and different stuff. Some of the kills were a little bit lackluster, but some of them were pretty solid. The character design on the killer here, I liked what they showed of you for you. They don't show a ton of them, but when they do later in the movie, I do like the design. I also think it has a decent story for being like a camp camp horror movie, summer camp horror type movie. I'm I honestly, like, this one kind of caught me off guard a bit. I was not expecting anything. It has a cool music, cute, cool score. The opening credit song and the closing credit song is awesome. The menu music. It's got tons of special features on here. Uh, it has a 90-minute documentary on this movie. 90-minute documentary. Like, that's insane. It's called The Legend Lives. 30 Years of Madman. Commentaries, obviously. Little documentary on the music in the movie. Yeah, so it comes with tons of shit. That's one thing these boutique labels do, and they get, usually, not all the time, but usually they give you just a buttload of special features, and I love special features. I know a lot of people skim over them and they don't really care, but after I watch some of these movies, I just love diving in and spending another 2 hours watching all kinds of extras. And I also judge physical releases based on that. Like, yes, the movie's one thing. And that's the most important. That's, like, to me, 85-90% of how important it is to review a physical media release. But then, like, another 10% of that to me is, like, does it come with stuff? And the stuff that it comes with, when I turn it on, is it interesting enough to care? And for the most part, a lot of movies, most of the bonus features aren't that interesting. Like, I'm not a huge, I don't care a ton on commentaries unless it's like my favorite movies of all time and I want to hear somebody talk through the whole movie, basically, and commentate on it. But yeah, give Batman a watch for sure. Like, I think a couple companies have put this out, but I'm pretty sure this is probably the cheapest version you can get. Most reasonable, I should say. Not cheapest, none of them are cheap, but that's the most reasonable version of it you can grab. So yeah, I would give that a watch. I would totally recommend it. As a matter of fact, I might even watch this again this weekend because I'm going on Brennan and Sam, Our Life in Horror podcast, and we're doing our top 10 summer themed movies. And this would actually be a summer themed movie. So I might watch this, and I'm going to be watching a bunch of that. So an episode coming up will probably be all like summer themed movies, you'll notice, because I've got to watch a bunch for the episode. So I'll that might be considered. There's a lot of good summer themed movies. That's going to be a fucking hard list. But yeah, maybe it will make it. Who knows? Next up, from Criterion Collection here. This is 1979, David Cronenberg. This is The Brood. Now, I bought this about 3 years ago. And that was the first time I had ever seen it. And the first time I watched it, I wasn't the biggest fan. I was like, it's kind of boring. I don't know, it didn't suck me in. And then the second time I watched it, I liked it a little bit more. And then this time, my third watch, I ended up watching all the special features, which it comes with a fuckload. I got a different appreciation of it. Like, I just enjoyed it more. It's all about mood, right? What mood I'm in, or you're in, or anybody's in when you sit down to watch a movie. And if it just nails the mood you're in, even if you don't know what that mood is. But The Brood is got some really nasty shit in it. Like the final act has some gross, like, almost make you puke a couple of the scenes, how nasty they are. But it's got a solid storyline for what I make of it. Like, it's a thinker. It's a bit of a thinker. Like, when it ends, it leaves you with, like, okay, what was the director meaning 100% by this? Because you can just take it as straightforward, but there's a hidden meaning here. And it makes you think for a bit. But it's like a woman. I'll give a little sum up. It's a man and a man and his wife, and she's going to a psychologist because she's got problems. And then there's all these little kids with like hair lip issues and stuff, and they're all like killing people and eating people and shit. And like that's about all I can say, really. Because if I say much more, it kind of ruins the storyline. But honestly, this is a beautiful Criterion collection. This is a Blu-ray. What's it come with here? Comes with a nice, decent poster. Sorry. This one's a real folded one here. So on this side, it's got... Took me a second to even figure out what that is. It's got this poster. And then on the back, it's got all the write-ups. All kinds of reading to be had. No reversible. Criterion doesn't usually do reversible arts. But yeah, I picked this up for a reasonable price. It was on sale a couple of years ago. And this comes with a lot of great bonus features. It's got interviews with Cronenberg himself. It's got all kinds of stuff. What the hell was it? A full documentary, the making of the film, all that stuff. Tons of bonus features. But yeah, I would give, like I always say, like, I get kind of sick of repeating myself a bit. Let's just assume that I would recommend everything going forward. And then if I don't recommend something, I'll let you know from that on. Because being someone that just loves movies like I do, it's kind of hard to... Like, I feel like I'm always saying, oh, I recommend this. I recommend this. Yes, I do. I recommend all of them. I really recommend these next two. No. This. I just wanted to have some fun. I've seen these movies 20 times probably. This is Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights, the double pack on Blu-ray here. Growing up, first Jackie Chan movie I seen was Shanghai Noon. I think my stepdad took me to the movie theater to see it, and loved Jackie Chan ever since. I've seen, oh man, probably close to all of his movies. I don't know for sure because he's done some that are like unreleased and almost impossible to find, so I can't say I've seen everything, but I've seen everything that is available to be seen, let's say, without having to rip or download and shit. But yeah, I think him and Jackie and Owen Wilson in this just nail comedy duo perfection for action movies. There's so many good roles. Like in the first movie, I love Owen Wilson's story and his character progression and how he's an outlaw and he's basically not a very good one. And his progression is awesome. Him and Jackie Chan play off each other so well. Leads up, you also have Lucy Liu in here as Princess Pepe, and which leads a lot of jokes there for Owen Wilson lined up. Music's funny, like you get freaking Cowboy by Kid Rock in here. You get it's crazy music placing. tons of great action. Jackie Chan shows off some of his awesome stunt skills like he always does. Highlight of who he is. And Owen Wilson shows off with some of his comedic skills. And then the second one, Shanghai Nights. This one brings in Aidan Gillen, who plays Peter Baelish in Game of Thrones as one of the villains, and Donnie Yen as I can't remember his character name, but he's a villain as well, and him and Gillen are trying to wipe out some government officials so that they can step in and take their place. And tons of references to that era as well. This is early 1900s it takes place in. Late 1800s, early 1900s. There's a child. They run into a kid in the street who ends up becoming Charlie Chaplin. Which, like, it's just, you gotta see it, because the way they do it and build it up. Oh, and, what the hell's the name of the kid that plays him? He's popular nowadays, but in this, he's, like, really young. Oh, his name's not gonna be on here either. Oh, man, it's the actor that plays, this is gonna bug me. It's the actor that plays Kraven the Hunter in the new Spider-Man universe movie coming out. He was also in Bullet Train. Aaron Taylor Johnson? Yeah, I think Aaron Taylor Johnson. Let's go with that. Young kid, probably 10 years old in this, maybe 12. Something like that. He plays a young Charlie Chaplin, and you don't know that's who he is until later in the movie. You have all kinds of, like, culture references throughout the movie. Characters show up and they end up being certain characters. I love that. Some great comedy in this one. I love the England setting. There's a scene with Owen Wilson where he's talking to the little kid that's Charlie Chaplin. And the kid's like a little orphan kid he's a thief in the streets. And Owen Wilson has a scene where he's like, yelling at the kid, and he's like, yeah, we're not orphans because we have parents that love us. And you don't, because you're just a little orphan. It's so funny. And like always at the end of the movie when Jackie Chan, at the end of all Jackie Chan movies, he shows, there's like a blooper reel, obviously. They do that in pretty much every Jackie Chan movie I've ever seen. They give you a blooper reel at the end. It shows where he fucked up stunts, and then also your typical funny moments. And Owen Wilson could not get through that scene. He was struggling. It kept showing him doing it over and over, and he kept just bursting into laughter when he was trying to say it. And it's good. Both of these are excellent action movies. I enjoy them both. Who knows how many more times I'll watch these in my life. They're just go-to, throw on, kick back, have some good laughs, watch some good action scenes. Highly recommend those. Not a good price, too, on that double pack. And then the final piece I'm doing for this episode, this is from Arrow Video. This is The Vagrant with Bill Paxton, Michael Ironside. This one is a freaking cool movie. So that's the new Arrow Video art. And then this is what the original art looks like here. They have the new art as reversible too. But I don't really know why they do that in this case. I guess if you don't have the slipcover, yeah, that makes sense. But if you have the slipcover, I always put the original art on the inside. But I pre-ordered this because I had it in a 4-pack from Scream Factory on DVD. Came with 4 other movies. Actually, I still have that pack somewhere in the collection here. That's it'd be in my DVD section. But I really enjoyed this the first time I watched it. I think Bill Paxton just nails this comedic horror comedy. He has a homeless person, a vagrant, living outside his new house he just bought, invested his entire life savings into it, and this homeless man just fucking torments him to no lengths. And I can't, there's twists in this movie. Like a pretty major plot twist, actually, at a certain point. I can't reveal that because it's good and can't be spoiled. But oh man, it's just great comedy, great acting, some good cheese, like just perfect. What year did this come out? This is early 90s, right? If I had to remember, 92 it says on here. But Arrow videos are always correct. Notice a lot of my Arrow videos are not right on the years. But it says it's 92. This is a must grab. I'm gonna be honest, like, I had a lot of fun with this movie. I liked it so much the first time I seen it that I made my wife watch it. She got home from like a camping trip, and I watched it a second time with her because I thought she would get a good kick out of it, and she did like it. So you got both your artworks here. You got the new art on your poster, or you got some classic stuff here. I'm telling you, one day I'm gonna have to start putting some of these posters around. I have so freaking many of them, it's nuts. It also comes with a pretty good sized booklet here. Who plays the vagrant in this? What the fuck is his name? Marshall Bell. If you don't know that name, you will know the actor when you see him. Like, he's familiar here. You also got Colleen Camp. But yeah, this is a pretty heavy reading book. There's tons of info in here. Everything you'd want to know about this movie is definitely in there. Oh, is this a limited edition? I don't know if it's limited. It's probably still available. I don't know if it's still got to come with the slip if you buy it, but it's this is a must grab. I was so happy when Arrow announced this because, like I said, I only had it on DVD, and the 4-packs, like, they didn't look bad, but when you got 4 DVDs crammed onto like 2 discs or 1 disc sometimes, 4 movies on one, it's like, I don't know, it takes away. Like, I don't know. I'm a physical media lover, so having my hands on this movie, on individual movies, and just having them, like, I love individual movies. Like, I will sometimes buy all the movies in a box set, even though I already have them, and just so I can get rid of the box set and have all the individual movies. There's just something about it. It's obviously OCD things, but I love having all the individual movies by themselves in my collection. But yeah, it's a pretty solid stack for this episode. Everything here are obviously must grabs, must have in your collections. I would recommend every single one. All the 4Ks are beautiful here. They're all like, you will be happy with them. Obviously, Stand By Me doesn't really need a 4K. But listen, if you love the movie like I do, it needs a 4K. I am happy to have the best looking, best sounding experience for all my favorite movies. And it's like, I've had conversations with people before where 4K just isn't for them. But on some movies, it absolutely is. Like, anybody that says I don't like 4K, if I had you over to my house with my setup and my surround sound and everything, I'm pretty sure by the time I showcased off a couple of my 4Ks, movies that are meant for 4K, like a good reference 4K disc. If you ever have friends over and you want to just show them how beautiful 4K can be. One of the best reference discs in my whole collection is Godzilla vs. Kong. I know the movie isn't that great, but holy shit does it look and sound unbelievable. Like that movie, it almost doesn't even look real at how good it looks in some spots. And the freaking sound is like, it will give your stereo a workout. Time it's done, your speakers are probably hurting. But awesome reference disc for anybody that just random 4K talk there. But yeah, I'm a huge lover of 4K. It's just the collector in me, I think. Like, it's a new format, and I'm not gonna, like I've said before, if I have the Blu-ray and I'm happy with that Blu-ray, I don't usually upgrade to 4K unless it's on sale. Like, unless I can get it for a reasonable price. And because I'm not all about buying the same movie over and over and over again when I could be adding movies I don't have to my collection. I'm always about adding new stuff to my collection I haven't seen. And I'm also, like, I love watching movies, so when I buy a bunch of movies, I'm excited to throw them in. Like, to be honest, I can't really wait to throw them in the player. I get so excited. So, and because I have a collection this big, it's why I started this channel, like I've said before. I looked around at how big this collection is I've created, and I'm like, I need to, like, really start just watching all these. Like, let me go through and just watch all these freaking movies. Because up until like 5 years ago, I was like most people, and I just watched the same movies over and over again. Comfort movies, basically. Like, I'm like, oh, I feel like a horror movie. I only ever look through my collection for the horror movies I've seen, and I throw those ones on instead of giving stuff a chance I've never seen. So now I'm just like all about watching everything. I just can't. Enjoying this a lot. Freaking awesome. Next episode on Monday. So this is my Friday episode for the weekend. I'm going to be watching a buttload of zombie movies. Me and my daughter Samara are home alone this weekend. My other daughter and my wife are going camping, and I need help with the puppies, so Samara's staying home with me. And I think her favorite horror movie genre is zombies, so I'm just gonna have a zombie weekend with her, and we're just gonna knock off probably 10, I'm hoping, over the course of the weekend, zombie movies. So I'll have all those on my Monday episode, and I'll probably rank all the ones I watch as well, from worst to best. I'll show them to you. In my opinion, I believe that everybody's worst and best, and rankings are different because everyone has different likes and dislikes. But I like showing off, and I also like having the conversation. Like, so when I post that zombie video on Monday, I would love if one of you guys felt like compiling your top 10 zombie movies or top 5 or something, threw them on there. But yeah, thanks for watching again. Get out there and buy yourself some stuff that you like. That's all I can say. That's what I do. Thank you. Talk to you soon.